Look directly into the eyes of the man who broke baseball. This isn't a narrative of gradual progress. This is an unnatural occurrence, a sudden, violent mutation in the fabric of the sport. We are witnessing the arrival of a being capable of exerting maximum physical dominance in two entirely separate, historically incompatible disciplines simultaneously. You might think you know what an elite athlete looks like, but I assure you, your perception is dangerously outdated. Prepare to have the rules of engagement rewritten before your very eyes. Failure to understand what Shohei Ohtani represents is failure to understand the future. His dominance is a threat to the specialist's very existence. For over a century, baseball taxonomy dictated a severe division of labor. The pitcher, a finely tuned weapon focused solely on the physics of velocity and spin, and the hitter, a coil of explosive power dedicated to timing and trajectory. Ohtani shattered this dogma, not by slightly excelling at both, but by becoming a terrifying apex predator in each role. Imagine a single organism that possesses both the lethal venom of a viper and the crushing bite force of a crocodile. He throws projectiles that routinely defy natural limits, generating fastball velocities that flirt with 100 miles per hour, making him an elite pitcher by any standard. Within moments of exiting the mound, he trades the controlled menace of the pitcher's arm for the violent torque of the hitter's swing. He unleashes catastrophic power at the plate, connecting with pitches with such force that the trajectory often renders outfielder efforts moot. This is not balance. This is total, overwhelming dual-proficiency, a biomechanical anomaly that statisticians are still struggling to categorize. The numbers he produces aren't records. They are anomalies carved into stone. His 2021 and 2023 MVP seasons weren't simply great performances. They were the first true two-way seasons we have seen since Major League Baseball abandoned segregation, a feat that mathematically shouldn't be possible in the specialized modern game. Consider this stark reality. Modern athletes struggle to maintain peak velocity on the mound for 7 innings. Ohtani must maintain that peak output while simultaneously committing his body to the rotational violence of hitting 600-foot fungos every third day. One season, his pitching WAR alone was worthy of an all-star nod, while his hitting WAR placed him in the conversation for the league's top slugger, a destructive double-entry accounting that steals potential awards from 2 different pools of peers. It's an act of resource monopolization and absolute physical control that bends the very definition of a baseball player. He is the ultimate arbitrage opportunity, extracting maximum value from 2 separate market failures, forcing defenders into impossible choices. Fear the arm or fear the bat, but fear you must. The truly terrifying part is how effortlessly he achieved this. The comparisons to Babe Ruth, a mythical figure whose pitching peak preceded his hitting dominance by a decade, fall short. Ruth excelled in different eras. Ohtani is conquering this compressed, highly optimized, hyper-specialized age. While every other team sacrifices salary cap space, roster spots, and development time to acquire 1 elite pitcher and 1 elite slugger, Ohtani provides the equivalent of 2 top 10 players occupying a single roster spot. This is the structural collapse of competitive parity. We try to rationalize the phenomenon through preparation, through genetics, through sheer dedication. But those explanations fail to capture the unsettling scale of the achievement. He is rewriting the blueprints for human athletic potential live on the field. Every time he steps into the box or toes the rubber, he is delivering an unmistakable signal. The era of the specialist is drawing to a violent, necessary close. Adaptation is mandatory, and the rule set is his to command. His presence alone alters the defensive posture of every opposing team, forcing uncomfortable decisions in the shift, the pitching rotation, and a late-game strategy. You cannot pitch around him because the next hitter will benefit from an obvious gap in concentration. You cannot pitch to him because the outcome is likely a scorched earth home run. You cannot intentionally walk him, only to face him 3 innings later from a mound. He is the existential dilemma made flesh, a paradox that can only be solved with pure power. The MVP trophies weren't congratulatory pats on the back. They were acknowledgments that the league was utterly defenseless against his integrated skill set. Imagine the pressure applied. His body must transition from the minute. Repetitive muscular precision required for a 16-pitch high-leverage inning to the catastrophic all-out rotational explosion necessary to launch a ball 450 feet, and then do it again the next day. This metabolic cycle should break a man. Ohtani simply thrives within the impossibility. The most dangerous revelation came during his recovery from injury. Even restricted to a single role, his hitting talent escalated to league-leading levels. This wasn't a reduction in threat. It was a focused application of previously divided destructive capability. If a partially optimized Ohtani threatens the home run record, imagine the full, terrifying, two-way beast at 100%. This is the true definition of a universal talent. Remove one variable, and the remaining threat simply intensifies its lethal output. The shock isn't that he exists. The shock is that he is reproducible. Scouts and development coaches are now faced with the harrowing task of attempting to find the next integrated monster, searching for the raw material that can withstand the physical and mental demands of dual mastery. Ohtani is setting the minimum viable product for superstardom to a level that will disqualify 99% of professional athletes. He is evolution made manifest, and the sporting world must either adapt or be consumed. The truth is that Ohtani is not simply a great baseball player. He is a prototype. He is the single point of failure in the system that kept specialists safe and profitable. He forces us to confront the terrifying thought that the peak of human sporting potential is nowhere near what we previously assumed. The legends we hold dear, the records we revered, they are merely data points on a superseded graph. His control over both arms of the game is total, relentless, and accelerating. He is the herald of the true multi-tool athlete, the end of separation anxiety in sports, delivering on a promise of physical capability that should only exist in digital simulations. The admiration you feel is not for a player. It is for the sheer, terrifying perfection of a machine built without compromise. This new standard of performance is an existential dread for every aspiring athlete who cannot match the impossible standard. And that devastating reality, that's just one of them.